Welcome CCM Piano Academy. So as you can see right now I'm in church. So I'm replying to a comment. Someone left a comment about I should make a video on what voices I use on my piano. So that's what today's tutorial is going to be. So I'm going to show you the voices that I use for worship and the voices that I use for praise right away. I'm going to take a picture of each of them and I will post them at the end of the video as well. So I use the Montage 8 piano with worship. So I use S700 for Montage and then analog. So I'm going to reduce all the volumes and everything. So I don't know if you can hear that. So that's the piano sound. S700 for Montage, and then my strings. This is my analog. So that's my analog. So my analog is that. So that's analog. And then my electric piano. So I have an electric piano, which is my soft case. So the soft case is basically so that's my soft case. So that's my soft case, my EP piano. Sometimes I usually use it for praise. I mostly use it for like praise, like contemporary praise. Incredible can't describe, that's a wonderful, all those white people praise type of thing. That's what I usually use, soft case, or even Makossa, or even Nigerian praise, African praise as well. And then I can't even pronounce it, but the fourth voice in ETHEREAL, that is like strings, but a different type of strings. So I don't know if you can hear that. The fourth voice. So that's the strings, the ethereal. I cannot pronounce it, but yeah. And then I have like a bell portion, and then I cut off the bell. So I cut off the bell from the middle C, I think so. Okay, wait. So from here, okay, so my bell only plays from key D. I cut it off because I don't want the bell to be in the low end. I only want it to be in the high end. And then the next one is pearls. So this pearls is it's not like strings, but it's like a, I don't know if you can hear that. I usually keep the volume of this one very low, like a little bit, like very low, but low enough that you can still hear it. It cannot add like the beginning of a song. Like I usually use at the beginning of a choir administration at the beginning, that I usually do it. And then the seventh voicing is organ. So this one. So that's my organ. But I usually reduce the volume of the organ. I use it during worship too. So and then for the organ, I usually split it. So like from down here, I cut off, I make the organ only sound from here. Yeah, so the organ only sounds from here and up. But the organ, I remove the organ from my left hand side so that it doesn't sound very heavy. So the organ plays, and then the eighth voicing is glass choir. So glass choir is the same thing as number 6. So it has like an effect, like an after effect. It has like an after effect. So yeah, so that's my voicing for worship. But there are sometimes that the praise usually follows the worship. Sometimes the singer turns the praise into worship too. Like in the middle of worship, the singer just turns it into praise. Sometimes, so that's when I usually use this voicing, to which is power worship. And then S700, the same voicing as the worship, but piano. So that's my piano sound. Piano sound. Oh wait, that's not piano. Yeah, so piano sound. And then the same thing, analog strings. The only difference between the other one, this voicing and the other one, is the number 6, 7, and 8. So the 6 is like an ocarina. So it's for like praise, African praise. And then the glassy, that's the organ. Number 7 voicing is the organ. And then number 8 is like brass. So that's my brass. So after 1984, that's my brass voicing. And then something I always do too is to, you see the mid, see that mid, I always reduce the mid. So I always, when I use equalizer, I always reduce the mid of my voices, because the mid always makes it sound very muddy. So if the mid is very high, it sounds very muddy. If the mid is a little bit lower than usual, then the stuff is going to sound better. And then also something you can also do is to increase the gain, but my increase the gain of the low. But my voices already sound good, so I don't really need to increase the low frequency. And then let's see. So for my piano, I also do some adjustments. I reduce the release. I reduced the release, -2, and then I also did I reduced the depth. I reduced the depth to -4, so that it sounds, I don't know, I can't. Well, when let me increase the depth to the max. So I'll increase. Oh wait. Let me increase the depth of the piano alone. The depth. So increase the depth, so you can listen, and then so you can see the depth has like a cutoff, like it makes it that it doesn't sound very very high. But yeah, I think so that when you play it, it makes it such that the piano sound doesn't scatter everywhere. And then that's pretty much it for my piano. And then for my strings, I usually place the attack to number 8, so that it comes out slowly. So when I play the piano, it doesn't come right away, it comes after. Cause like if I reduce the attack now, it's gonna come right away. So that's not what I want. So I want it to come slowly. And then I reduce the attack of all my strings. I reduce I increase the attack of all my strings. And then for the bell, I don't do anything extra for the bell. The glassy, the organ, I don't do anything extra. Yeah, I didn't do anything extra. But if anything, I would have reduced the mid. But the mid is not really an issue for me. But yeah, I always reduce the mid of the piano sound. I reduce the mid of even my electric piano too. My EP, I always reduce the volume of the EP. I reduce the mid of the EP. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then let me see for the other. Let me check the other voicing. Yeah, I don't do anything extra for the brass or during praise, even the ocarina. And then during hymns, so I have like a setting for hymns too. For hymns, I always use strings, piano, the same piano voicings. I use strings, and then I use all bars. Let me show you. Let me show you how that sounds. So I usually use all but this one. That's let me set this. Why is it not? Yeah, so number 7, all bars pick AF. That one sounds more fuller than the glassy AF. So I usually use the glassy AF during worship, and then during hymns I use the all bars. Yeah, I use that voicing. But yeah, every other stuff is still looking the same. And then this number 6 is my strings. So number 6 is strings. I always use strings during hymns. I use strings and organ. I always find that it sounds better when I use strings and organs together than when I use strings, organ, and pad with the piano during hymns. So yeah, you can always experiment with that as well. Then yeah, so wait, I also have one more voicing for praise. So sometimes there's this time that I always have like a main keyboardist, and then I will have to like play aux. So there is this preset that I have for like aux piano, which is this one here. Yeah, so praise I have. So this is my signed brass, the last voicing, signed brass. And then number 7 is I think it's organ. Oh well, yeah, it's organ. Yeah, so that one is organ. And then number 6 is sweep pad. So that one it doesn't come in right away. So that's like for aux too. So you can always do during praise. It's like brass but not really brass. And then number 5 is hit me. So that one is like boom. So that's number 5. Then number 4 is wins whatever synth. So it's like a solo if you want to solo with it. So I usually use it to solo. And then number 3 is J-pop. So J-pop is like bells. It's bells basically. And then number 2 is ocarina. That's for praise. And then I use this kind of strings. Number 1 is this type of strings. Yeah, that type of strings. It's also like hit me, number 5, the same voicing. Same thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to take a picture of each of them and I will post them at the end of the video as well.